Another notification, another demand. And we live our lives day to day losing track of time. Stop and look at this month alone. It's almost gone. Sometimes you need to hit the reset button and go back to the basics. And if cooking on the daily can seem daunting, there's quite a few things you can prepare ahead of time to save lots of headaches.
Hello everyone, welcome to Miami Cooking. I'm Azita, and today I've got excellent food prep recipes that all feel like an indulgent treat. But guess what? They're all low carb. Let's get started.
For this recipe, you'll need the following ingredients. Don't forget to get a screenshot. To begin this recipe, we'll need a bowl with 4 cups of water, and we're going to add our blueberries and strawberries into the bowl. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda to the water, and we're going to leave this in here for 1 to 2 minutes while occasionally moving this around. Using baking soda in order to clean these helps remove dirt and pesticides from your produce. Now we're going to rinse the berries thoroughly with water, and we're going to let these air dry until we're ready to use them again. If you're curious to know more about how to properly wash your produce, be sure to check out my video titled "You're Washing Your Produce Wrong." Next, we're going to slice and dice half a cup of strawberries to add into a pot at medium heat. Then, we're going to add half a cup of whole blueberries into the pot, tossing these around occasionally. Next, we're going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're going to try to smash these fruits as they cook. We're going to cook this down until the berries break down and turn soft and jam-like. And now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of lemon juice to this while it's still hot. Adding this now helps activate the acidity in the lemon, allowing it to brighten the flavor. While it's still hot, we want to make sure to add our 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. This will help the chia seeds incorporate a lot faster into the mix. And we're going to let this cool for about 15 minutes before adding our 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Vanilla is a bit delicate and high heat can cook off the aroma, which is why this step is last. This recipe will fit perfectly in a 6-ounce jar. I recommend that you use a glass jar. Plastic can be affected with the acidity of this, as well as metal. This jar can last up to a week in the fridge. There's a lot of ways to enjoy this chia jam, including making these chia jam bites. Be sure to check out that video. Up next are chicken tenders made with almond flour. Don't forget to get your screenshot. This recipe calls for 1 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have that, you can always add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to 1 cup of milk. If you are making your own, I recommend waiting 10 minutes until it looks a little bit like this, slightly clumpy and a little bit different in texture. While waiting for that to be ready, you can mix 2 raw eggs with your chicken tenderloins and some salt and pepper. Once the buttermilk's ready, you can pour it in and mix the chicken with the wet ingredients thoroughly. Now on to the dry ingredients. We're going to need 2 cups of almond flour. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of paprika, half a tablespoon of dill, and half a teaspoon of turmeric. And let's not forget 1 tablespoon of parsley. Now we're going to toss this around a little bit to mix the ingredients, and we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. Then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of onion powder and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And by now you know the drill. We're going to mix this several times until the flour has a more yellowish hue. I like to let my chicken sit in the buttermilk egg mix for 3 hours in the fridge. This helps tenderize the meat, leading to a juicy chicken with a nice breading. Next, we're going to place each piece of chicken in the almond flour mixture, and we're going to toss it around until it's completely covered, then placing it on our oven tray. And we're going to repeat this step multiple times until we've finished with all the chicken. And into the oven it goes at 400 degrees for 18 minutes. And while that's in the oven, let's get started with our cauliflower tots. For this recipe, you'll need the following ingredients. Don't forget to get that screenshot. Now, for this next recipe, I used two 12-ounce bags of rice cauliflower. This one has garlic and parsley already in the ingredients. Next, we're going to place our 2 bags of rice cauliflower in a bowl. Then we'll add 1.5 cups of cheddar, 1 tablespoon of grated Parmesan, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 3/4 of a cup of almond flour, 2 eggs, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of pepper. And we're going to toss this a couple of times until all the ingredients are well mixed together. Next, I recommend that you grease your pan before placing our mix in. Here I've used a muffin tin for a muffin-like shape, but you can also use a mini muffin pan for a smaller, crisper, tater tot-like result. If you want that same effect using a muffin pan, I recommend you add a little bit of extra cheese on the top of each opening for a firmer consistency so it can crisp up in the oven. And into the oven they go at 375 degrees for 30 minutes. If you're using a mini muffin tin, please check on these a lot sooner. And there you have it, our cheesy cauliflower tot and our chicken tender. Yum. A little pretend junk food, low in carbohydrates. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Bye.